Welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss quickly loss of a temporary status and what to do about it. A lot of clients out there are a little bit confused about filing an extension on an application so they don't fall out of status and what it means to restore your status. So just want to clarify these 2 points real quick. An extension essentially is on a temporary matter and you want to extend your stay. And so usually you want to extend your stay either as a student, as a visitor, or as a temporary worker. To do an extension on the application, you would have to file the application minimum 30 days before the expiration of that document. So for example, for a study permit, if you expire December 2014, you want to file the application November 2014, at least 30 days before that expiration. And the reason why it's 30 days is because obviously it makes sense. The officer needs some time to review the documents and to see if he or she wants to extend that stay for you. Same thing with a visitor visa and a work permit. To extend your stay, make sure that you meet the qualifications or the requirements for that document. So if you want to extend your stay as a student, make sure that you have a proper letter of acceptance or a program is extended, a letter from your school to say, yes, you've been accepted in this program, it's extended, it's the second year, whatever it is, include that letter. For a work permit, you may have to have another labor market impact assessment if it is, or if it's under an NAFTA agreement, you don't. So there are specific requirements for that work permit, study permit, even for visitor visa that you have to meet. But for this purpose of this video is just how to extend it. So let's assume you have all the relevant documentation for those particular temporary documents. To extend it, you file it 30 days before that document expires, and then you wait. Until a decision is rendered, you cannot continue that type of work or study or even, visit. I guess you can continue visiting. What I mean by that is, let's say you file a work permit extension and you filed in November of 2014. Your work permit expires December 2014, so you did everything right. And now it is January 2015. When your work permit expires, you can continue to remain in Canada. But even though you can remain, you have to stop working. You cannot continue working while you are what they call under implied status. So you can definitely remain in the country, you just cannot continue working in Canada. And the same thing goes for your student visa. If you have filed and the decision has not been rendered yet to extend that study permit, you have to refrain yourself from going to school until you get the new study permit, because it's possible that you may get a refusal. The visitor is a little bit, obviously you can continue being in Canada and being a visitor. So you're not really entering the labor market of Canada. You can continue to stay. The extensions are only filed within Canada because obviously you're extending your stay in Canada, so it's filed within Canada. If you exit the country and you want to come back the next day, that extension is null and void. You have to refile a brand new application to a consulate outside of Canada. Again, extensions are inland and you cannot travel during the process of the extension. It's considered null and void if you do. And then you have to file a brand new application overseas. Now, what does it mean to restore your status? To restore your status, essentially it means Canada gives you 90 days to restore your status. We, Citizenship Immigration Canada understands that life happens. We forget things. We forget that our work permit expired or our study permit expired because we got so caught up with life, that Canada gives you 90 days to restore your status and continue to be legal in Canada. So again, using my example, let's say your work permit expired December of 2014. You have 90 days to file a restoration of status, which is January, February, March of 2015 is when you have to file that restoration status. There is an additional government fees. Currently it's $200 that you would have to pay. And so long as you file it within that 90 days from that work permit being expired, you are legal in the country. You can continue to stay in the country Again, the same principles applies. While the application is in process, you have to refrain yourself from working or studying in Canada. So while you are under implied status, you have to refrain yourself from working in Canada until that document, until that work permit is approved. So I will just summarize real quick. With an extension is you're extending your stay in Canada while you still are legal in Canada. You have a valid document in place that has not expired yet. You want to file that within 30 days of that expiration, or 30 days before expiration, I should say. And you continue. While you're under implied status, because the decision has not been rendered, you have to refrain yourself from working or studying in Canada until you have a valid document that says you can continue. And the restoration is 90 days after it has expired. So if you expire in December, March of 2015 is the latest you can file that restoration. It's an additional government fee you have to pay, but essentially you've restored it, life happened, you acknowledge that to the immigration officer, and during that implied status, while the officer is processing this, you have to refrain yourself again from working or studying in Canada. I hope that clarified the difference between extension and restoration. Until next time.